So we'll go through the first round together and kind of going through those progressions, and then that will give us a chance to warm up and then also know what we're doing. Starting with standing mountain, you can grab a block. If you don't have one, that's okay. Your feet are going to be hip width apart. Block's going to be right above the knees. And you can have your hands right by your hips. Scan the bottom of your feet, feel your toes gripping the ground, bend your knees just a little bit, squeeze your butt, take a deep breath in, you're growing nice and tall. Exhale, reaching for the floor, the shoulders are pulling down, and then if you want some external rotation to open the chest, you can rotate the palms kind of towards the front of your body, and then pull the hands slightly behind the hips. Another thing you can do is bend your elbows, and then make sure that they're not going out, so you want them more at 90 degrees. Take a deep breath, shrug the shoulders, and then exhale. Pull the shoulders down as you push those elbows to the floor and squeeze them in. So here we have standing mountain, drawing those arches into the center to help clamp onto the block. The tailbone moves down, the head is over hips. And then you can slowly bring the arms down. If you want, you can keep the block where it's at. We're going to do shoulder circles, so you can also remove the block, but still thinking of staying stacked. Let's do some big circles, like 5 forward. That was not 5. 5 backwards. Your gaze forward, bending your elbows as much as you need to. Still trying to get that lift, that energy moving up the body. Backwards. Reach up. Cross, cross, arms out, palms together. You do palms up. These are different variations you can do. Good. If you want to be cool, you can go like this. Yeah, that. Don't do that, that's fine. Okay, the other things you can do that we don't always do is pulling the arm behind and across. I'll actually show you here. So it's like starting on the opposite hip. This is where you really want to try and keep it strict on the arm. You come up, and then the hand rotates as you bring it behind. And then when you bring it behind, that's where the shoulder's going to want to come forward. So don't force anything. If your hand needs to come down a little more, that's okay. I'm trying to squeeze like right here. And then back. So we're here, rotate, clack, 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 clack. It's all here in my neck and chest. So this is another movement you can do. And then other side. There we go. Still getting that lift that you get in standing mountain. Opposite hip to the back of the opposite hip. You can adjust the shoulder with your hand. Feet about hip width apart. You bring your arms back into a chop position first, and then the bottom of the butt's going to move up towards the ceiling, looking through the legs. You'll pull the shoulders away from the ears, and then if you can, you're going to come down into a squat, pushing the thighs out, lifting the chest, coming up here, extending the hips, ribs in, arms out, and then reversing the movement, chop, butt up. And again, if you can't do the squat or it's uncomfortable, just slowly come up from here. Very good, very good. Next up will be the front warrior to lunge thing. So, and then we're going to take it to movement and then actually get into warrior 3. So, but we're going to progress to that. So feet hip width apart, taking a step back. The front leg, you want that knee slightly in front of the ankle. The back leg, you can hover the heel, or if it's more comfortable to have your leg up to the side like this, that's totally fine. Heel down. You can put your hand on your low back, one in the front, pull the tailbone down, pull that hip point up. The crease of the hip you can pull down because that likes to come up sometimes. The ribs move in and up, and then we'll go into a lunge. So the upper body is coming forward. You're pulling the front heel back in space, which I was not doing. There we go. Squeezing your butt on the back leg. Keep your hands on your hips so you can bring your palms to prayer. The legs are pulling in towards the center, towards each other. As you continue to press down that heel, pull it back in space. You can start to straighten the leg, getting that lift. Oh, yeah. And then bending the knee, straightening the leg as you pull the front heel back. And then what we'll do is bend the knee, step through the heel, stand up, walk around, go to the other leg. I always like to take a few steps because then when you loosen up like that, your bones can kind of fall into place. And then you can go to the other side now. Taking that step back. I'm glad I always remember to wear my tightest pants. This is like not a good idea. Ah. Okay, so the knee is going slightly in front of the ankle, spreading the toes, gripping the ground with the first 3 toes, and then pulling that front heel back in space, or the hip back in space. And again, this hip likes to crunch up a lot of times, so we want to get that external rotation here while still keeping that inner thigh active. The back leg, you want to pull the tailbone down, squeeze your butt so that hip point moves up, and then getting into your lunge. First round, we're just getting into that lunge position. You can bring your hands to prayer if you'd like. And then as you pull that front heel back, you can straighten the leg. If you want, you can hinge. Bending the knee, straightening the leg. Ooh, yeah, that will get better. And then bending the knee. Stepping through the heel, squeezing your butt as you come up and out. Then what we'll do is go into Warrior 3. So this one, I'm gonna make sure I have this wall next to me because I might need it. So if you need some support, it's all good. And it's okay if you don't go into a perfect T. So you're gonna pour the weight over to one leg. I'm gonna start with my tighter leg, which is the right one. Spreading the toes, grip the ground. Get the heel under hip. And again, I'm using some support just to set myself up. So I want my head over hips. I want to be lifting out of this leg so I'm not sinking into it. Tailbone works down. Nice and tall. You can begin hinging at the hip if you have it. And then extending out through the back heel. Woo. Keeping the shin forward on the front leg, the lifting out of that hip. Either have your hands on your hips or prayer. And slowly coming up. You can bring the knee up and then go back. This is what we'll do the next round. Pausing wherever you need to. And then coming out of that, walk around. Then we'll do the other leg. Just pulling the knee over. Nice and stacked, core engaged. Hinging at that hip. So my weight's coming forward, so I'm going to bring it back a little bit so it's going down through the center of the foot. Keeping that shin forward. Very twisted on this side. Extending through the back leg. Lifting out of the hip. Lengthening through the sides of the body. coming up. Nice and tall. Back. Lifting out of that hip. And walking around. Whew. Got prone mountain or sphinx next. We'll be on the ground. I'll probably throw in the option of incline plane as well. It's up to you. So you can do either hands under shoulders, hands out, go here, toes out. Sphinx, you have your elbows underneath your shoulders. Then what we want to do is compact, pull this energy into the center of the body so the floating ribs are moving up, shoulders are pulling down. And there you go. And then the tops of the knees are pressing to the ground, so you feel them. They're not pressing very hard, but you feel the tops of the knees making contact. As you extend the hips and squeeze your butt, you can pull the belly button and the floating ribs away from the floor. Again, if your elbows are bent, you're pulling them towards the hips and into each other, relaxing the shoulders down the back, pushing the heart out through the chest, extending out through the top of your head, trying to relax through your jaw. Slowly coming down. I was waiting for a beep and then I realized we're not holding for intervals yet. Otherwise I would have been holding a while. All right, then after that, we're gonna go into the leg up extension. So this is where you got your strap. So this is like Warrior 3, but on your back with some assistance, essentially. One leg stays on the ground, toes up. If it's too hard, you can always bend the knee. The other leg's gonna come up. We wanna use our core, so you can always, when you lay back, compact your abs to help yourself bring that leg up. This is for assistance, not necessarily to hold your leg. You should be able to let go and it should be okay. So what we want is the leg over the hip, toes pointing up, squeezing your butt on the leg that's on the ground. And the leg that's lifted, you can take a deep breath in, pulling the belly button away from the thigh. Exhale, pushing the butt out away from the hip. Making sure you're not locking the knee out, pulling the kneecap up. Shoulders pull down, and then you're compacting your abs. Sometimes I put my thumbs on my lower rib cage and then my fingers on the tops of my hips. Make sure they're stacked. I noticed my ribs were twisted a little bit, so it helped me get them more stacked on top of each other. And then slowly you can bring that down. We'll switch legs. Compacting those abs. Squeezing your butt on the leg that's on the ground. Shoulders down, slowly bringing that leg up. Try not to lock the knee out. Taking a nice deep breath in, expanding. Exhale, lengthening out through the side of the hip, of the lifted leg, the crease of the hip, getting some space. Think of pulling the belly button away from the thigh towards the ground, the ribs, moving towards the spine, and squeezing the butt on the lifted leg. Taking a deep breath in, exhale, slowly bringing that leg down. Good job. Okay, so for the second round, what we're going to alternate with that is going to be a double leg up extension. You don't necessarily need the strap, but you can use it. And you'll want your feet hip width apart. If you wanted to use, oh, it's back here. If you wanted to use a block, you can, but you want to make sure your feet are hip width apart. Right, so it doesn't make your feet wider. And then, so we're gonna bring those legs up. We can start here in a more flexed position. Getting the knees over hips and then extending the heels towards the ceiling. Belly button pulls away from the spine, and then you can clamp onto that block. Try not to use the top of the legs to do it. Trying to get the feet flat to the strap. Knees soft. Shoulders pull down. Lengthening for 5, 4. Relax your jaw. 3, 2. Bend your knees. Come on down. And then supine bridge is next. Tilt to bridge. Stay on your back, hip width apart. Scooting those shoulders down. Coming up into the spine. Sliding those ankles out as you pull the heels. You can slowly come up. When you come up, there's a few places you can help yourself. So remember, hands on hips. You can always pull the tailbone down, belly button to the spine. Ribs in, chest open, shoulders. You can have your arms extended or bent at 90 degrees. Make sure you're tugging your heels towards your butt a little bit, so there's this pull towards your butt. The belly button moving away from your knees. Slowly coming down. And then relax. So that one will go from hold to movement, or you can always just hold the whole time, because that's nice. So that's the sequence for the most part. Let's do it again. Like I said, it's going to be 45-20, so intervals are a little shorter, but hopefully that'll get us through everything. We go in 3, 2, let's go. All right, and then feet hip width apart. Block. Head over hips. So you're pulling or drawing that energy to the center. It's coming up those inner thighs. Tailbone works down. Chest is lifted, squeezing your butt, taking a deep breath. When you breathe in, think of growing. So you're growing vertically. The chest lifts up. It's not going out in front of you. It's lifting up to lift you. And then squeezing those armpits shut. You can rotate the palms if you haven't already. If you want, you can bend the elbows. Stay here, keeping those ribs in. You got 5 seconds. 2, and relax. All right. We're going to go to the lunge next. My favorite. Not.
We're doing the chest on top squat thing.
We will at round 3.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for asking. All right. So the knees tracking between the first, second toe. The hips are forward. You're pulling that belly button down towards, or the tailbone, sorry, down towards the calves. And that gives you a little stretch here. And then aligning those ribs. You can lunge forward. But then that outer hip or that front hip likes to come up sometimes, so making sure it's not crunching up. You can pull down the crease of the hip. Pulling that tailbone down. Looking forward, pulling the front heel back in space, squeezing your butt. Good. Breathing, if you want, you can have your hands at prayer. And then push through the front heel. Stand up, walk around. Do, 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 do. We'll go to the other side. There we go. All right, other leg. 3 seconds. 2. Let's try that again. Okay, stepping back. So remember that front hip likes to come up, so we're going to bring it down. Knees forward. Pulling the tailbone down, belly button to the spine. Ribs in. You can go into that lunge, bringing that upper body forward, squeezing your butt on the back leg. Pulling that front heel back in space on the front leg, keeping that shin forward, and then extending out through the top of your head. Trying to lift out of the hip, trying to breathe. You got 6 seconds. Start pushing down through that front heel. Stand up, walk around. Whew. All right, next prone mountain or Sphinx. You, your stomach. All right, so palms face you, or face your hips, or they can be underneath your shoulders, or here. you're in Sphinx, your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And then your toes are pointed out. If they start to cramp, you can always flex them. Take a deep breath into that low back, belly button lifting up. Sometimes I give myself feedback, so that's hard to do. The ribs lifting up, the chest is opening. Exhaling the elbows towards the hips or the shoulders down. Lifting the back of the heart. Try not to lock the knees out. Still working those inner thighs back, pulling the pinky toes to the floor. Breathing, lengthening, and releasing. Go ahead, relax. Leg up extensions, so you can roll on your back. You got your strap, maybe, your belt. Pick a leg. 2, 1. All right, leg on the ground, squeeze your butt. You're anchoring down. That leg is coming up. Soft bend of the knee. It's almost like you're pulling that kneecap towards your hip. The belly button pulling away from the thigh. Ribs down, shoulders down. Nice deep breaths, trying to relax your jaw. Try to get the leg on the ground active, so feeling that hamstring stretch by squeezing your butt without locking that knee out. Pulling the belly button away from the thigh. Got 10 seconds. Pull the floating ribs down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lowering. Relax. Go to the other leg. Same thing, other leg. 5 seconds, squeezing your butt, leg on the ground. Try not to overdo it. And then the leg coming up. So at the crease of the hip, remember that likes to come up just like in the lunge position, so we're going to pull that down. The top of the knee pulls down, and then you're extending out through the heel, trying to get a nice stretch of the hamstring. The leg on the ground, the toes are pointing up to encourage the inner thigh, rotating down and back. And the belly button lifts away from the thighs. Floating ribs down to help open up the chest. Squeezing your butt on the leg that's on the ground, making sure again that it's not locking the knee out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly bringing that leg down. And relax. Okay. Supine, tilt to bridge. 8 seconds. So bending your knees, scoot the shoulders. Sliding the ankles out. Pull the belly button to the spine. Hips in, shoulders. And then as the heels start to pull, the knees begin to move towards your toes. You're still drawing into the block whenever you can remember to. As the ankles slide out, the shoulders roll down, ribs in. You can have your arms extended or bent with the palms facing you. When you pull that pinky towards your chin, it helps to encourage external rotation of the chest or the shoulder. And then pulling that belly button down, you can slowly start to bring the hips down. Good job. Okay. Stand up, shoulder circles. All right. Whew. So you can do any variation. I'm going to start with just big ones, big circles. Just the traditional here. 3, 4, 5. Try not to let your body swing around too much, especially with the head. Try not to let that head come forward or the chin jet out. 3, 4, 5. Here. Oh, here's another one we didn't do. It's where you like come out, palms together. For swimming, I don't know how to swim, so this is swimming to me. Don't choose me for a survival scenario. Okay, Front lunge to movement. So we're gonna bend the knee, straighten the leg, bend the knee, straighten the leg. If you wanna add that hinge, you can. So we'll take a step back. 5 seconds, feet hip width apart. All right, so that front knee slightly in front of the ankle, the back leg is extended. You're pulling the tailbone down. You can go into your lunge. And then straighten the leg by pulling the heel back, extending through the back leg as well. So you're bending the knee, squeezing your butt, straightening that leg, pulling the heel. And the back leg is moving forward, so you're just trying to squeeze that butt. We got 6 seconds, so bend your knee. Step through, walk around. Whew. All right. Do the other side. Okay. Head over hips. Taking that step back. Well, my heel's way back over here, so I gotta move it. Good. Back leg. Extending, pulling the tailbone down so that you can feel the stretch in the psoas or the front part. And going into that hinge, feeling the front part of your heel pressing down. Your chest is lifted, you're squeezing your butt on the back leg, and then you're going to pull that front heel back in space to get a nice stretch of the hamstring. And then bending the knee, straightening the leg. As you bend the knee, you're still trying to pull that front heel back. All right, bend the knee. Walk around. Cool, cool, cool. All right, prone mountain or sphinx. If you want to hold incline plane at this point, you can do that too if you'd like. We're just lengthening and extending. All right, I'm going to go into sphinx. So you're extending your hips, your toes are pointed unless your feet cramp. And then if you're prone mountain, you're going to be a little closer to the ground. You want to think of pulling the belly button away from the floor, pulling that tailbone down, the ribs up. You want to keep the chest lifted and beaming forward instead of arching up. There's more of that curve in sphinx, but we don't want to collapse. We want to be lifting, pulling energy up and out in the same direction through the heart and out through the top of the head. Trying to keep both knees evenly working to the floor. Go ahead and relax. Whew. And we'll go to double leg up extension this time. So we're going to lay on our backs and both feet are going to come up. 5. All right, so if you want to have a block, you can use it. And then clamping onto that block, a little wider, you can extend the heels towards the ceiling. Try not to curl the toes too much, actually try to relax them. And then think of pulling the belly button away from your thighs to create space at the hip. Pulling the shoulders down, ribs in and stacked. Chest is opening. Top of the head, the forehead moves towards your heart. Keep breathing. Got 3 seconds, bend your knees. Slowly come down, and then we'll go to bridge. And then if you want to add movement in bridge, you can this time. And 5. Okay, get your tilt. So sometimes I'll put my fingers where my heels are and press down gently and pull into them, and that'll start the tilt, start activating the bottom. Pull the ribs down, shoulders. Slowly coming up. At the top, you're going to move back down, just check in, get active. Make sure the spine is neutral. Working the thighs out, even though you're squeezing the block. Slowly coming down. Slowly coming up. Go ahead and relax. Cool, cool, cool. Now we're doing the full extension. So stand up. So we're gonna fold and then come out. And do all that good stuff. 3 seconds. 2. Okay. Chop. The butt comes up. You want, you can go here, or you can reach, pull the shoulders. You can go into a squat, do it. Slowly coming up. Squeezing your butt at the top. Going into the chop. Fold. Shoulders. Squat. Just lifting. Squeeze your butt. Good. Now we're going into Warrior 3 hold. So, pouring that weight over. Let's see. Yeah, that's what's nice. If you want to add movement on this round, you can. I don't know if we're going to make it to the next round. We'll see. Head over hips. Sending back through the heel. There we go. Hands. The hips. Lengthening, keeping that shin forward so that you're not locking at the knee. Reaching in, you're lifting the back leg, lifting that hamstring, lifting out of the leg on the ground like you're going to fly away. 2 seconds. Slowly coming up. Walk around, it always feels good coming out of it. Just not into it. Okay. Go to the other side. Slide my heel over because it's really crooked. All right, so you're lifting out of that hip, out of the hips. Keeping your shin forward. Weight right over the center of the foot. Lifting out of the hip, lengthening out through the top of your head. Keeping that shin forward. The back leg that's lifted, trying to squeeze your butt. And extend out through the heel. Keeping the shin forward on the front leg. 5 seconds. Okay. Walk around. Ooh, my back just cracked. Yay. Oh, good. Sphinx. Prone mountain. If you want to do the dog child sequence, you can throw it in here. Or inclined plane. I'm guessing this is probably our last round. It's up to you. All right, so again, prone mountain, Sphinx. I'm gonna do the dog child sequence because that sounds good. You can also do cat cow if you'd like. Tucking the toes under to down dog. If you want, you can pedal the feet. And exhale to incline plane. Pointing the toes. Three seconds. Okay. Double leg up extension. Here, what you can do, if you want to do toe taps, you can do that as well. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So either way, start with both legs up. here. So you can go here and hold, or if you want, without the strap, pointing the toes, keeping the back flat, you can try doing it with a block. Bringing the toes to the ground. Now you don't have to do it with the block, because it's definitely a stretch on the hamstrings. So it would look like this, but it does keep it more strict. Shoulders down. Keeping that core engaged. What do we got? 5 seconds. 2, 1. And then we'll finish with bridge up and down, and can bring the heels off the ground for a little added stretch. Why not? Unless it doesn't feel good. 5. Pulling those ribs down, sliding the ankles out. Slowly coming up to bridge. Before you add more, just, set yourself up when you're in extension. Feeling the heels pull and the ankles slide out, squeezing the block. Then if you'd like, you can peel the heels off the ground. Still think of pulling the heels like towards your butt or towards your calves, so you're still getting that active pull back. Moves in. And if you're moving, slowly lowering the heels first. Trying to get both to touch at the same time. And then down. Trying to relax your jaw. And then go ahead and relax. If you want, you can do a little side to side, but we're going to go into restorative now. So find a comfortable position, whether you're just laying there. You can have a couple blocks under your legs. Put your legs up on a couch or a wall. And go dim the lights, and we'll pull a card and see what the universe wants to tell us today. Ancestors, wisdom. The ancestors are our spiritual kin. They are the ones who walked before us and in some way helped shape the lives we lead today. You're being asked to honor the ancestors, to keep their memory and spirits alive, and to give thanks to them. Many indigenous peoples and cultures around the world do this. In following this tradition, you are partaking in a timeless connection through which the ancestors can impart their wisdom and assist you with your spiritual journey. Put flowers on a loved one's grave or give thanks to the ancestor whose qualities you've acquired. You may wish to dedicate a small altar with pictures of past loved ones in honor of their memory and light candles in remembrance of them. Honoring those who have walked before you and understanding their ways will help you to release hurts and pains. Healing ancestral lines can enable you to break free of destructive patterns and step into the freedom your soul yearns for, to be whole, wise, and complete. Call upon the wisdom of the ancestors and honor yourself for never giving up as you walk wisely in their footsteps. Other meanings. Light a candle in remembrance and honor of the ancestors. Someone from your past turns up. Investigate your ancestral lineage. You are watched over by a deceased loved one. A past life issue needs to be resolved. A visit to your homeland holds the answers. Once made like you of blood and bone, from earth but now to spirit flown, Honor who we truly are, wisdom claimed to take you far. Slowly start bringing awareness back into your breathing, your fingers and toes and body. Slowly you can bring yourself up to seated, and then we'll do a little bit of a fold as we get up here. So you can crawl your legs out, pulling the belly button to the spine. And slowly coming up. Thanks for coming. Much love to you and you and you. I'm going to turn the lights on. I want to see that rabbit.
Should we go get chocolate?
Go get chocolate.
You don't want to see my bunny?
Yeah! I want to see.
Okay.
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 All right. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, okay. Bye, MC.
Fun, okay.
Oh my gosh, this is the best.